The Joe Rogan Experience.
Dude, first of all, congratulations on your comeback. You're a great guy. And when there's someone I like who loses a bunch of fights in a row and you get into this skid, it's hard to watch. I can't imagine what it was like being you, to have a young child and to be dealing with all of this going on. I mean, it's like losing your top, but then to come back the way you did against a really fucking tough guy in a Sunsow and get arguably the KO of the year. I mean, you got to be feeling pretty fucking good.
I feel great,
Back from the brink.
Back from the brinks. I mean, that time in my life, that time frame period, and going through that, from on top of the world champion, to a 3-fight skid, honestly, it feels like a lifetime ago. I feel like I'm just a different person where I was at from there, removed. And the thing is, I'm just doing differently, thinking differently, how I was able to approach the game, picking myself back up time and time again. I mean, internet is a horrible place to get knocked out on,
The internet is fuck.
You got the trolls, this and that,
Yeah.
But besides that point, just coming back to that and having a love for it. A lot of the times I got to the fight, and not to make excuses, I didn't feel myself. I didn't feel like, and the training and leading up, I felt physically I'm always ready to fight. Like, flip the switch, I'm always physically ready to fight. I think mentally going into those fights, I was just out of body. I wasn't. I felt like I was going through the motions. My passion wasn't there. I wasn't waking up every day like, what's your reason why? Like, I was just trying to find that, and I think the reason why I had so many people infiltrated in how I should train or how I should live or what I should do to get back there, and really it wasn't nothing that I needed to learn new. I didn't have to reinvent the wheel. It was just doing the slight edge theory, like getting out of your comfort zone. Like, you're doing your sauna sessions, like you're pushing yourself to go in there and just be uncomfortable. So I had to go out there, and with that comeback, I moved to Jersey, did training camp out there. I split time
I want to talk to you about that. I'm a big fan of Henry.
Dude.
Mark Henry's a bad motherfucker.
He's great. I enjoy him so much, his passion for it, his love for it.
He's so interesting, too. His crazy codes and the fact that the dude makes pizza on the side.
Dude, I was so nervous going out there because I heard of the codes and like, I was with Lance, so Lance kind of gave me a little insight on it, on everything. I'm like, damn, codes, and I just fight, dude. Like, I don't have really set things. I kind of go off of my instincts and game plans, and he was trying to brief me on it. When I got to the first 2 weeks, holy shit, we go down to his basement, and he has like pizza scrolls from the pizzeria where we have off about 50 things that we're working on before camp. And then
So what does he write him on boxes? Pizza
scrolls.
boxes?
Pizza scrolls, like the just basically white paper he rolls down and it tapes it there to the wall. You have like Corey's fight camp, you have Frankie's, and you have all these codes. And you have he's working with 14 fighters at one time, and he knows all the codes.
And all different kinds of fights too.
All different kinds.
Like
of
he's
fights.
got Zabit there, he's got Frankie. It's like all these different styles.
Yeah, different styles, and we'll kind of what I like about that is he'll try things that Zabit does. Zabit does these crazy double jump scissor kicks and spinning. The Russians are really good at spinning shit. So we threw that into the game, and it's it was nice to get that kind of stuff that Frankie's done and had success over the years. So we meshed that together. He got to know me really well. We worked extensively with Ricardo Almeida up there as well. But yeah, Coach Henry is just. There's nothing. He's obsessed with winning. But what I loved about him was the first thing that he said to me was that his job is he's competitive. He wants to win at all costs, but his job is to get us back to our family. And I watched your podcast with Andre Ward, and he said the same thing about his trainer. And once he said that to me, and I have a child now, my whole thought process has changed, and transitioned. And they're like, I want to be able to be around for my son's life. I want to have, speak to my grandchildren. I'm not drooling, that's what Coach Mark, I want you drooling when you're 50, 60 years old. And I kind of, the style that I fight, I can punch and move. I don't have to brawl with these guys.
Right.
And just reiterating the defensive part of the technical offensive part with him is I could go in there and hit a 6-7 punch combo. Dude, he would care less. He's like, what did you do after? You moved after, your head was off, your hands was up. Like, he's all about defense. And, I think he just helped me out a lot with saying that, like getting me home to my family safe. Like, that's what I want to do.
It's such an important approach to be defensively sound. And yet there's so many fighters who don't think like that at all. They just think about offense. And if it's really like in jiu-jitsu, like Rickson Gracie had I had a conversation with him once about jiu-jitsu, and one of the things that he said is that the most important thing is defense. He said, because I'm always safe. This is what he said. He goes, I'm always safe. And he goes, in every position, I'm always safe. Sure. Like, he lets guys on his back with a fully locked-in rear naked choke, and he'll start rolling like that. Yeah. He's always safe. So he never. And that's interesting. Also, I read that about the Danaher Death Squad, John Danaher's guys, like, you know, Gordon Ryan and all those guys. They'll start in really bad positions all the time. They train constantly in bad positions, so they're always defensively sound. And that makes sense with striking as well. So many guys are so concerned with offense. And, you know, you've had so many spectacular knockouts, like the Thomas Almeida fight, that it's just like you probably just want to blast guys.
True. I got to, like, pull the reins back sometimes. I'm like, dude, I'm so amped up just to get in there and get the fight, you know, like, forget the walkout, forget the, you know.
Yeah.
I want to get the first blow. I want to get that exchange, and then that's when the fight unravels. Sometimes I think I get so amped up that, you know, taking it back, you know, doing that, kind of having defensively sound, it sets up your offense.
Yeah.
And my uncle was training me my whole entire life, and this is what he said: your offense sets up your defense, and vice versa. But okay, like, my offense was so good, and then you get to this point where people are breaking down your footages and your films and, you know, your speed and power. You know, you have to have that. You have to be defensively sound if you're so offensive. I'm a forward fighter. I can fight going back. A lot of fighters can't go. I can fight positional. And like you said about Danaher's guys, Chris Holdsworth has adapted into a phenomenal coach. You know, he's my right-hand guy from martial arts to the T, and he makes us start in horrible positions like that when we're dog dead tired, and then get up and we're shadow sparring each other, and then going back to the ground, like really fight simulated things to where you're feeling uncomfortable in those positions. Like, yeah, I can go in there and knee wrestle all day during jiu-jitsu. I didn't get tapped out. I didn't tap anybody. I was safe, but I didn't put myself in those positions when the fight really happens. You have to see how, you know, your grit. You got to be able to fight off the hands, fight off the body triangle, fight out those bad positions so you're comfortable with whatever the fight goes. And I feel like that's where I'm at now. I've transitioned into that fighter. I was so green when I got to alpha male, and a lot of my speed and power catapulted me to the top where I have to kind of draw back a little bit and do the correctional errors, not reinvent things, not do things, but the defensive part of things. Like, you know, I was up in training in Jersey, and I knew I had the good head slips and movements, but some of the slips coach was watching me. I would get caught on the, you know, at the first or second, I usually would get hit with the fourth punch, you know, like a combo puncher. So I would slip, and then I would slip down this way, and I would get hit with the jab. I'm like, every time. It's like, dude, just bring your hand up a little bit when you're slipping to the right or moving to the right. And you know, he's like, how you feel after sparring? I'm like, dude, I feel great. I don't have a headache. I'm not getting my ass kicked. Like, I'm not getting hit really. Like, my defense has gotten so solid working with him and just constantly. And Chris is the same way. And my coaches out in Alpha Male are the same with hands up. But I was just, at that point in my life, I was just so aggressive and angry and just.
We had so much success attacking that way, too.
At doing that. But this last fight, I was honestly, Joe, when I was, you know, doing those feints on the sun sound, and Coach Henry said, hey, don't feel like these feints aren't going to work. Like, he's defensively sound. He's a great fighter at that respect. Keep doing these feints. They will work. I'm feinting this guy, dude. I'm feinting. He's not really biting. He's not really coming in. But I kept on the feints, and we, you know, I started catching him with some shots that I saw, and his eyes were hurting him. And then feinted, did the Tyson 2, his overhand right, dropped him. And I knew once I had that range and the power and speed and his timing that he would come in with something. So, you know,
that the KO, the way you did it, where you dropped your hands and looked to the side and waited for him to move. Oh my God, that was like one of the best walk-off KOs ever.
It felt great because the first round, I kind of had myself to the cage, and Coach, man, he'd probably kick my ass being on the cage. Like, get off the cage, get to the, you know, movement more. We're movement fighters, you know. He made me, and I know my back was in the cage, but I saw, and the round was ending, but I saw a sunset. Like, oh, here's my opening. I saw that in the first round, and then the second round I was staying off. I was moving, I was switching, you know, stances. But towards the end of that, I heard the clappers. I'm like, all right, I'm back in swell. Let him come in. I kind of leaned towards, and he kind of like feinted on it, and then he chased me down. When I level changed, I kept my eye on him, and he threw the hook because he was going southpaw. And I knew, like, I had my hand on the cage and know where my distance was. If he was coming with a kick after, I could lean back. I just had my range, had my timing, and once when I threw it, man, I knew when I felt it from the hip, it was over.
Dude.
Yeah.
And that guy is so fucking durable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. I mean, this guy is so tough and so durable. For you to catch him and KO him like this,
Yep.
That had to feel so good. Catch new episodes of the Joe Rogan Experience for free only on Spotify. Watch back catalog JRE videos on Spotify, including clips. Easily, seamlessly switch between video and audio experience. On Spotify, you can listen to the JRE in the background while using other apps and can download episodes to save on data cost, all for free. Spotify is absolutely free. You don't have to have a premium account to watch new JRE episodes. You just need to search for the JRE on your Spotify app. Go to Spotify now to get this full episode of the Joe Rogan Experience.